Imagine this. You're staring at a 100-ton bank vault. You don't want it. You don't need it. But your landlord says you have to remove it or he'll sue you into oblivion. Most people would panic. But I saw an opportunity. One perfectly crafted trap. And by the time I was done, that vault was his problem forever. If you've ever wished you could turn the tables on someone who tried to bully you, you're gonna love this one. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready, because this is a story of how I use a landlord's greed to destroy his own plans. Back in the 90s, I was sharing an office with another lawyer in a downtown building. Same landlord, same headaches. Now, I've dealt with some nasty residential landlords before, but commercial landlords? Oh, they can be a special breed of cruel. Ours was the worst. Loud, smug, always threatening tenants. And he loved to pull one particularly nasty trick. If you were even slightly late on rent, he'd just change the locks without a court order. That's the kind of man he was. Someone who believed rules were for other people. One afternoon, I went for lunch at the Vault, a cozy little basement restaurant in the building. It was called that because in the back, they had this enormous old bank vault from decades earlier. It was a quirky, charming space to eat in. The owner pulled me aside that day, his face tense. "The landlord's driving me nuts," he said. He showed me a letter from the landlord. It was a list of demands: extra rent for parking lot repairs, snow removal, flooring, even things going back years. Oh, and the usual threat: pay up or he'd change the locks. But then came the real kicker. The lease said when the restaurant moved out, the owner had to remove the 100-ton vault and restore the property to its original condition. That's like telling someone, "Hey, before you go, please take out that mountain over there." The restaurant owner didn't want it, couldn't afford to move it, and now faced financial ruin. Worse, he'd personally guaranteed the lease. No shell company to protect him. If he couldn't remove that vault, it would bankrupt him. Let me paint you a picture of this landlord. Big, beefy man. Always eating like every meal was a personal competition. Loved to smirk when tenants complained. You know the type. He didn't just want rent money. He wanted you to feel powerless. This vault problem? To him, it was leverage. A way to squeeze my client dry before he left. The restaurant owner asked me, defeated, "I'm screwed, right?" And truthfully, yeah, in any normal case. But I wasn't interested in normal. I was interested in making our landlord choke on his own greed. I told my client I could save him for $5,000 in legal fees, plus $1,000 for the agent. He didn't even hesitate. Certified check on my desk in under an hour. The agent wasn't the property. It was bait. I met with the real estate agent, laid out my plan, and gave him the documents. The goal was simple: create an irresistible, but fake, offer for a new tenant who needed that bank vault in place. Then we made our move. We sent the landlord a formal demand. Release all the restaurant equipment in the bank vault so my client could take it to his new location. It was ridiculous, of course. My client needs an answer today. I told him. "Forget about the bank vault," he said, greasy fingers waving dismissively. "I'm the landlord. I can do whatever I want." That's exactly what I needed in writing. And sure enough, by the end of the day, we had it. A letter claiming ownership of the vault. When the restaurant moved out, the vault stayed right where it was, along with the massive cost of ever removing it. A month later, my landlord came looking for me, jowls quivering with rage. His deal to rent the place to a bank had fallen apart. The new tenant backed out the moment they learned they couldn't move or change the vault. "I know you were behind this," he shouted. I just smiled. "If you're looking for legal counsel, I'm afraid I have to declare a conflict." He threatened to sue me, the agent and my client. He never did. There was nothing to sue for. The offer he'd banked on was just a non-binding letter of intent. When I moved offices a year later, the space downstairs was still empty. The big vault still sat there, an immovable monument to his greed. And every time I passed that faded for rent sign, I felt the same thing. Not just satisfaction, justice. This wasn't just about winning. It was about making him live with the exact burden he tried to dump on someone else. 100 tons of it, sitting in his basement, month after month, tenant after tenant walking away. Sometimes revenge isn't about shouting the loudest or hitting the hardest. It's about letting your enemy trap themselves. All you have to do is hand them the rope. If this story made you smile, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And of course, subscribe for more stories where karma isn't just poetic, it's ironclad.